Hi, I'm Eva Pilgrim. Thanks for streaming with us today. It was about the money. Two witnesses taking the stand talking about just that in the sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy trial against Sean Diddy.
Before we begin, viewer discretion is strongly advised. The following is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is the verbatim federal courtroom testimony of the Sean Diddy Combs trial, as reported by reliable sources. What's shocking? Secret did Cassie Ventura's former publicist uncover in the basement of Diddy's recording studio? Why did Jessica Monroe, who managed Cassie's public image from 2012 to 2018, abruptly quit her high-profile position and disappear from the entertainment industry entirely? And what evidence did she preserve that prosecutors are calling the missing piece that explains years of silence in a testimony that has left the entertainment industry reeling? Jessica Monroe, once a rising star and celebrity publicity who worked closely with both Cassie and Diddy, has come forward with disturbing revelations about what she discovered beneath the gleaming surface of Corn Lee. I've stuck up with the gleaming surface of Diddy's music. Monroe crafted the public narrative around Cassie's career and relationship with Diddy, all while harboring growing concerns about what was happening behind the scenes. She didn't appear as a publicity seeker. She didn't come forward for financial gain. Monroe arrived as a reluctant witness who had spent years processing the ethical trauma of her role in what she now describes as a sophisticated operation designed to silence victims and manufacture consent. I entered the publicity field believing I would help artists share their stories. Monroe stated, her professional composure momentarily faltering. Instead, I became unwittingly complicit in concealing the truth about what was happening to someone was supposed to protect. The decision to testify wasn't made lightly. According to sources close to the case, Monroe initially feared career devastation and potential legal repercussions due to the extensive non-disclosure agreements she had signed, but as allegations mounted and other witnesses came forward, she contacted prosecutors with information about a hidden facility she had discovered beneath Diddy's recording studio, a space that she claims served purposes far removed from music production. If you're finding this information valuable, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more breaking developments in this ongoing case. The federal courtroom fell into complete silence as Jessica Monroe was sworn in. The overhead lights seemed to accentuate her professional appearance, a sharp contrast to her visible discomfort at being the center of attention. Diddy, seated at the defense table, maintained his composed expression, though a subtle tension was visible in his jawline as Monroe approached the witness stand. Nobody expected a publicist to become a key witness. The room was tense, eyes focused on the witness stand, until Monroe removed a sleek black portfolio from her briefcase. Gasps echoed through the gallery. Even the judge leaned forward slightly. No announcement, no dramatic gesture, just Monroe opening to a page filled with what appeared to be floor plans, security protocols, and a detailed timeline of events spanning multiple years until that moment. Monroe had maintained a complete absence from public life since her abrupt career exit in 2018, but something had changed. Maybe it was watching Cassie's testimony. Maybe it was the corroborating evidence from other witnesses. Maybe it was finally feeling safe enough to speak about what she had discovered. Whatever it was, Monroe was done keeping her knowledge to herself. She wasn't taking the stand as a celebrity insider looking for attention. She was there as a communications professional who had stumbled upon information that radically changed her understanding of her role in the entertainment industry. And when she began to speak, the courtroom wasn't prepared for the methodical, detailed account of what she had discovered beneath Diddy's recording studio, because what Monroe revealed about the hidden basement facility, its true purpose, and the elaborate systems designed to maintain secrecy wasn't just shocking. It provided context and physical evidence that connected multiple victims, testimonies across years of alleged abuse, evidence that explained how silence had been maintained for so long. It started like any other day of the trial. The room buzzed with low conversations, the press hunched in their designated rows, and lawyers whispered strategies as they waited for what was listed on the docket as industry professional witness. But when the bailiff announced Jessica Monroe, the room changed. You could hear a pin drop. Some people recognized her name. Immediately, others whispered questions about her relevance. But the way Monroe walked purposefully to the stand, her expression professionally composed yet resolute, told everyone this wasn't going to be peripheral testimony. The judge raised an eyebrow, and Diddy, who had been conferring with his legal team, suddenly straightened, his attention laser-focused on his former employee, Monroe. Took the oath, no eye contact with the defense table. She didn't even glance in Diddy's direction. "I understand the significance of what I'm about to share," Monroe began. "I worked as Cassie Ventures publicist from 2012 to 2018. A position that required close collaboration with Mr. Combs and his team. I was responsible for crafting their public narrative as both a couple and as individual artists." The judge allowed her to continue, and from that moment on, the entire trial shifted, because what Monroe was about to say wasn't speculation. It wasn't secondhand information. It was firsthand professional experience backed by documented evidence she had meticulously preserved. When asked to explain her role, Monroe provided surprising detail about the intersection of publicity and control. "My official title was Director of Publicity for Cassie Ventura, but in practice, all decisions required approval from Mr. Combs' team. I was responsible for coordinating media appearances, managing interview questions, crafting social media content, and most relevantly, ensuring that any public appearances or statements aligned with the approved narrative about their relationship." The prosecutor approached carefully. "Ms. Monroe, can you tell us what prompted you to leave your position in 2018 and why you've chosen to testify now, Monroe?" Looked directly at the jury. "I left because I discovered a facility beneath Mr. Call's recording studio that fundamentally changed my understanding of what I was actually supporting through my work. And I'm testifying now because realized that my silence, however unintentional, helped enable a system that caused significant harm." Diddy's legal team immediately objected, arguing that any information Monroe obtained during her employment was covered by non-disclosure agreements. But the judge, after reviewing the agreements, ruled that NDAs cannot legally prevent testimony about potential criminal activity. "I've brought documentation," she said, referencing her portfolio floor plans, security protocols, and most importantly, a detailed record of what I discovered and how it connects to public statements I was instructed to craft on Cassie's behalf. I've spent my entire career managing public perception," she said. "I understand the difference between image management and systematic deception. What I discovered went far beyond standard publicity practices." She turned slightly toward the courtroom. "This wasn't just about protecting a celebrity's privacy. This was infrastructure designed for control and coercion." Monroe told the courtroom that it started, like many concerning discoveries, with something that initially seemed innocent. It came through routine publicity work. The way she explained it, it was supposed to be a standard tour of the recording studio for a potential feature story. Normal media relations. I'd been coordinating similar access for years, so I didn't question the extensive security protocols. But the moment Monroe accidentally accessed a restricted area of the studio, she knew something was off. The main recording facility had state-of-the-art security, fingerprint scanners, multiple checkpoints constantly, rotating access codes during a walkthrough for a planned media feature. I used a bathroom that was supposedly off-limits when returning. I took a wrong turn and found myself in a hallway with a keypad-secured elevator that wasn't on any of the building plans I'd been given. The second I asked about it, the security team became visibly agitated. That should have been the first red flag. They said it was for archive storage, master recordings and valuable equipment. But their reaction felt like something else, like I'd stumbled onto something I wasn't supposed to know existed. She was escorted back to the main studio areas. The professional atmosphere became noticeably tense. There were explicit instructions never to mention the elevator to media representatives. It felt like everyone was watching to see if she would ask. Further questions, Monroe said that after that incident, she began noticing patterns in Cassie's behavior following studio sessions. It happened most dramatically. After late-night recording sessions, Cassie would arrive at media appearances the next morning with what I now recognize as trauma responses. Dissociation, memory gaps, physical discomfort. She would repeatedly say things like, "I don't remember much," from last night, or "the session is kind of a blur."